God, what's on my camera? There we go. La 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 la. What's up, guys, and welcome to video number 2. I want to thank all 6 of you who accidentally clicked on my video last week and not the one underneath it that says kid with man bun loses Beyblade competition. You guys are the ones keeping the lights on here at Stark Industries, and pride cometh before the fall. So last week I awkwardly told you about Malcolm Gladwell's book Blink, and to say I'd rather sniff mouse farts than watch that video again is being polite. So today I'm going to try this new thing where I don't completely stink at this. What if instead of doing like a let's play, we did a let's read? You read your book there and I'll read my book here, and we don't ever have to do anything. Quality content. This week is actually another book by Malcolm Gladwell, one of his more popular ones called Outliers. Roll the clip, Alex! I'm sure a lot of you know about the term that this book made popular, which is the 10,000 hour rule, which basically says that in order to become a master of a craft, you need 10,000 hours of practice at it. For example, you may have heard of the story of a little band in the 60s who got a gig playing in Hamburg, Germany, even though they were from England, and they played over and over and over. And in 4 years, they played 1,200 times, practicing their craft, owning their skills, and only getting better as a band. This band went on to achieve world success as the Beatles. They then practiced another 10,000 hours and they became Coldplay. Sorry. To get a better understanding of this rule, I did the math. Then I remember I'm not so good at math, so I looked it up. To hit master status, you would have to practice with intent to improve. What's going on up here? You'd have to practice with intent to improve for 20 hours a week for 10 years. Which is nuts. But what if you push that 20 hours a week to, say, 40 hours a week? Then you would literally cut in half the amount of time necessary to achieve a golden status, right? Right. For instance, if a 13-year-old was like super into programming and got access to it in high school in, say, 1969, when computers were just becoming accessible to high schools, and he worked on it day in and day out, then, stay with me now, what if by the time he was in college, he was so far advanced at computer programming and processing that colleges were knocking at his door? What if one of those colleges was, say, Harvard? Maybe Harvard, maybe. Then what if he dropped out a year later from Harvard to invent, I don't know, Microsoft? That's right, ladies and gentlemen, I am telling you the true story of our one true Lord and Savior, Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson. Just kidding, it's William Gates. Bill Gates was born in the ideal year for when computers were becoming accessible to high school students. I wonder if any other computer geniuses were born in the same year as him. This book does a great job of illustrating why people who succeed do so well, and not just your usual suspects like practice, hard work, low blood sugar. Gladwell perfectly illuminates which factors of circumstance predispose you to success, as if, I don't know, what month you're born in determines how good a hockey player you'll be. Or does it? This is absolutely cuckoo bonkers to me, and maybe one of my favorite Gladwellian segments out of all of his books. In Canadian hockey, the cutoff date for players is January 1st, which means anyone born after that date will be pushed down a playing level and play with people who are younger than them. Kids who are born after January will get more practice time than kids born before January, even though they're the same grade. So the kids that are born right after January will get more playing time and become better than those who are in their same grade but born before January. So they get more practice than them, they become better. Better players get more coaching, more opportunities, and before you know it, they're playing in the KHL in Russia. There's also the physical difference. A player born just a couple months later than his counterpart early in the year might not seem like a huge difference, but when you're only 5 years old, physicality is everything. Those January babies are already smoking Marlboros and using steroids. So the earlier in the year you're born, the better chances Canadian hockey players have of going pro. Wayne Gretzky was born January 26th. Yep. Mark Messier, January 18th, thanks for asking. And Connor McDavid, the 23-year-old hockey prodigy who is said to be one of the best players in the world currently and was the youngest NHL captain ever at 19 years of age, January 13th. What? Yeah, well, he's a pariah or an outlier, and that's the name of the book, Alex. So, 10,000 hour rule and the hockey player thing are kind of the biggest stories that I took away from this book. But what I've also thoroughly enjoyed is that peppered throughout are the stories of these people who've overcome crazy odds to become successful. Gladwell really hones in on what specificity of the rise to success, but I don't want to give too much away because then why would you read the book, you know? But without giving too much away, here's some cool words you might learn if you do read this book. Speaking of reading, remember that it's a privilege that not everyone in this world is allotted. So if you want to help someone else learn to read, you can donate to Books Abroad. Books Abroad is a great charity to donate to, and if you're strapped for cash this month, you can always send books that you've already read 4 or 5 times and help it make someone else smile. No, we won't use that. We won't use that. It's fine. Alright guys, hopefully this was better than my last one. As you can see, I'm already going downhill. The only reason I make these videos is because I like to read and I want to make other people want to read. Which is why we might just have some giveaways, and if you want to read a book, then go buy one. We will be doing some giveaways, and stick around. Maybe get a free book. Okay? Yeah. Alright, that's enough of this. See you guys later. And cut. Ugh, that was so bad.